No people of influence, such as government officials, teachers, or parents, should ever use language that is derogatory because of race, religion, or gender. The leaders of today are influencing the leaders of tomorrow.
We've got over 213 ethnicities represented in New Zealand. We collectively speak over 160 languages, and I strongly believe that New Zealand is strong as a nation because of this diversity and not in spite of it. However, we could do better.
We need to recognize that we are all different, but we are all New Zealanders of different shapes, colors, of different religion. I think recognizing that is probably the very first step that we need to take.
I think that one of the major things that we can actually do is acknowledge Te Tiriti o Waitangi as the founding document of this country. If we were to genuinely honour it, then our parliamentary system would be far more collaborative and creative and inclusive.
So the leadership that's required from myself and my colleagues is actually to change not only the institution, but the way the institution works across the entire government plan, across the entire community expectation.
The laws are made to safeguard and protect communities, and so long as those laws reflect the diversity of our communities and respond to the aspirations and needs of those communities, then we have no problem with what the law says.
It's important that communities see themselves reflected in our organisation. The ability for us to speak the languages of our communities, the abilities for us to understand the cultures and different religious groups that are in the community.
Our ethnic liaison officers, the creation of them was in around 2003, I believe, and it was in response to seeing a need amongst our ethnic community, an officer who could identify with, who could speak the languages of and totally understand where the communities were coming from.
My daughter came to me and she wanted to take a particular subject, and the teacher kind of indicated to her that perhaps she should think of other subjects. My daughter came away feeling she was told she couldn't do it. I said, I know you can do that subject. You go back to that teacher and you enroll in that subject.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Aotearoa, New Zealand, we are an inclusive, welcoming country. We are, absolutely. But we must also have inclusive and welcoming attitudes in every single institution that we have, including our schools and our education system. We ask, what are the most important things that we should address in the education system? A young person will get up and say, please address institutional racism, institutional bias.
The power to re-empower those marginalised communities lies in the hands of our educational institutions. In New Zealand, Māori students are falling behind on every measure of educational outcome. However, those students who are attending Māori immersive schools actually achieve higher on all fronts, NCA, university, and employment. It's clear that systemic bias and the enduring legacy of colonisation is behind this ongoing disadvantage of Māori people. In such a multicultural society, never has it been more vital that our educational institutions place an emphasis on history, culture, and language. And I truly believe we can eradicate these educational inequalities if we cultivate culturally flexible minds and provide all students with the assurance that they have both the responsibility and the right to be there.